Broadcasting from the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence, NCTV45.
And this is a Focus NC. However, it's more of an editorial and a comment on some things that, well, just aren't right. In the recent days, we've had Meet the Candidate here on NCTV 45, to which was brought to my attention by Mark Alisco, and I'll give him credit on this. He said, you know, we're coming up on a celebration. He said, do you realize that Newcastle was rededicated in 1869, 150 years ago. So Newcastle's having a birthday. This is a sesquicentennial. And what do we have? Former residents of Newcastle saying, you know, we don't want those kids playing out here. We don't want this being done. Where is your support for the city? Where is your support for where you grew up? We get a lot of reminiscing. However, here are some facts. As we celebrate the sesquicentennial, in other words, 150 years since it was declared a city, there are a few historical facts NCTV 45 would like to share. Early maps of the location of the confluence of the Neshannock Creek and Shenango made note of Cuscan's Native American Indian settlement. Yeah, for a long time I thought Cuscan's town, if you look at the signs, in 1798, civil engineer John Carlisle Stewart resurveyed some area donation lands which had been reserved for veterans of the American Revolution. Yeah, the Revolutionary War. This was approximately 50 acres of land around those two rivers. It did not get staked on a previous survey. So Stewart claimed these 50 acres for himself. This was considered part of the Allegheny County, Pennsylvania at that time. Then he laid out what became Newcastle, Pennsylvania, USA. He was proud of his town and didn't move to an outlying area and say how bad it was. Little conjecture there. This town was listed as a broth until 1825 with a population of 300 people. As a growing broth, Newcastle soon became part of Mercer County until April 5th, 1849, when the acting governor signed an act creating the county of Lawrence. Now, County Line Street was actually the line between Mercer and Beaver counties. The place was split. It was named in honor of U.S. Navy Captain James Lawrence. Now, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to give you a little background on James Lawrence at the end of this. 20 years later, in 1869, boasting a population of 6,000, Newcastle, Pennsylvania was declared an official city. The first recorded mayor was Thomas B. Morgan. And in this 150-year birthday, James Lawrence, who the county was named after, the county slogan is "Don't give up the ship." When you feel compelled to talk about your city, on how bad things are, I want you to ask a question. Are you making it better? Are you labeling somebody for somebody else's deeds? Are you looking at the negative rather than looking at the positive? Come on, ask yourself these questions. If somebody did it to you, how would you feel? I'm down here every day, folks. It isn't bad. Matter of fact, it's kind of nice. People say hello in the morning, they get coffee, and they move about just as normal as rain. So before you start criticizing, maybe you should turn around and say, "Happy birthday, Newcastle. What a great 150 years. And by the way, we're going to try a little help, even if it's saying something positive, rather than always looking at something negative. Everything has a silver lining." For NCTV45, I'm Angelo Parada, and this was a Focus NC on Newcastle. We'll be giving you a whole lot more. And I've got one thing to say. Anytime on your time, that's NCTV45. Happy birthday, Newcastle. That's the greatest castle in the world. Have a great evening.
Broadcasting from the greatest castle in the world, in the county of Lawrence, NCTV 45.